In the far-flung future of the 24th century, the game of baseball was changed forever. At this time, in the city of Cape Codpiece, Florida, a meeting of all of the owners of the teams in the Great Baseball League met in the presidential suite of a fancy hotel to discuss a most important matter. Amidst the portraits of the game's most famous players, such as Cecil Rooftop Shingleton, Travis T. O. Justice, and Tip Rude Waiter, this gaggle of CEOs deftly debated over the biggest problem their teams were facing. What is that problem? Is it league-wide steroid abuse, illegal genetic or robotic enhancements to players? Perhaps it's that every pitcher still blows out their rotator cuff after so many games. No, this league faced a much worse problem than all those things. The player salaries are too damn high, and it's really cutting into their gold spaceship funds. Like Gomer Go Home Gomez, a lifetime .250 hitter, is making $2.4 billion a year. That's ridiculous. The debate raged like wildfire between these team owners until one Irving Flopadopoulos said it. Robots. We'll just use robots instead. And so, all of the human players are promptly fired, a new bunch of rules are conjured up for this newfangled robot league, and the bots are quickly engineered for use in regulation baseball play. And the league is newly formed. That league? Cyber Stadium Series Base Wars. Topic of today's video. Developed by Konami, produced by Ultra Games, released in 1991, Base Wars is an action arcade sports game centered around America's oldest pastime, except in the 24th century, and with cool robots instead of people. Humans couldn't last in the robot league anyway. Do I have to explain how baseball works? Well, this is a video game based channel, so probably? Nah, wait, I'm sure you've all played backyard baseball, right? Get hits, run bases, get 3 outs, switch sides. Do that for 9 innings, highest score wins. In Base Wars, however, to make baseball actually entertaining to watch, there's been a few changes to the rules. Mainly, if a running bot meets an opposing bot holding the ball, they draw weapons and engage in a base war. With the winner gaining control of the base. This is a good rule change and something that should definitely be implemented in modern baseball. When you boot Base Wars for the first time, you'll be greeted by 2 different modes of play, open mode and pennant mode. Open mode will allow you to hop right into a game almost immediately with a handful of already existing teams, with the option to create your own as well. Such teams as the Batteries, the Arches, the Horse, all the classic teams. Or the pennant mode, which is basically just a season mode. I did a quick game in open mode to see if I could get a grasp on basic controls and gameplay. I picked my favorite team, of course, the Detroit Double Ds, and got right into the game. Honestly, after playing this one solo game, I figured the game would be quite the cakewalk. Why? Because I blew the AI out 72-19. I almost constantly hit home runs as well this whole game, and because I was crushing the AI so badly, the game took almost 40 minutes to play through. So after that, I decided to move on to pennant mode for the fun of it, of course. So to be more in line with the season mode, I put together my own posse of the fiercest robots to ever be assembled, forming the mighty Uranus Destroyers, and I subsequently hopped in. Before I play some pennant, let's talk about the robots themselves. There are 4 different kinds of bots in this game, each with their own strengths and weaknesses. Every robot also has a special attack that's unique to them. Tanks. Tanks are beefy, they're resilient, and at a base, hit the hardest when at bat. Also much slower than the rest of the bots in the game. The tank's special attack's a nice shoulder ram, which covers a ton of ground and does an assload of damage too. Cyborgs. Cyborgs are just simple all-rounders. They don't excel in any category, but they don't fail greatly in any one other. Except they do excel in combat, because their dropkick special is broken. Eat your heart out, Nicholas Kang. Cyborg's got the best fucking drop kick in gaming. M-Cycles. M-Cycles are garbage. They're fast, and that's it. They move so quickly, though, on the field, it's like you're skating around on ice, making it quite easy to miss easy catches in the outfield. Their special ability is also complete crap. Yeah, they're defying all the laws of physics and gravity, which is pretty crazy, but it doesn't do anything worth anything. You just do a spin. Whoop-de-doo. And lastly, there are the Flypods, who pack solid pitching stats, are good at fielding, and use the devastating combat technique known as the Goomba Stomp to defeat their foes. All your bots can equip a variety of deadly weapons to use in combat against each other as well. Normally, they'll just start out with their fists to bust out some sweet kung fu combos on their opponents, but they can also whip out swords and guns to do battle with. But really, you don't need weapons at all, since your special moves are honestly really broken. But hey, stabbing does more damage than punching, so it doesn't hurt to pull a sword out in a fist fight. On to the pennant mode, where things are actually pretty different from the open mode. All of your bots start with 0 upgrades whatsoever, which, after I realized there were upgrades, I realized that is why I was annihilating the AI so badly in the open mode. I'm pretty sure there all of the bots have full upgrades. Here though, well, you gotta be smart and pick the upgrades you need to win. You'll start your pennant mode with 10k to interface with this weird looking AI fella in the shop. If you want my advice, spend it on one of the hyper upgrades right away. Either hyper shot for better pitching or a hyper shoulder for very easy home runs. You also get to see the cool upgrade movie. First game of pennant mode is where you'll really struggle the most, honestly. I feel like if a full robot baseball game were to ever happen in real life, it'd be a lot like my first game here. Just mechanical, full pitching, hitting into almost instant catches every time. It was very robotic. I can't lie though, I'd be super pissed if I went to a robot baseball game and all the innings were this low scoring. I'd want my fucking money back. I barely managed to squeak out a W in my first game, but I did. When you win a game in pennant mode, you're awarded a fat paycheck of 20,000 to spend on more upgrades and to repair the damage your bots have suffered in-game. And here you'll get to see the cool repair cutscene too. Damage is a thing to worry about in this game, since it's quite possible for your bots to be destroyed on the field of play via combat or via getting hit by pitches. It's doubly something to worry about as well, since if any team loses 3 bots, they will not have enough players to field, and will have to forfeit the game. So if you're ever down too many runs, just start fucking brutalizing the enemy like you're the 76 Philadelphia Flyers. After my first W, I managed to have both an ultra pitching unit and an ultra shoulder on one of my tank bots, which made it a lot easier to win since Crow, who had the shoulder installed, basically banged a fucking dinger every time he went up to the plate, scoring me anywhere between 1 to 4 runs. All the while, the AI struggled to even get people over the plate. Since I've already gotten really far into the games, let me just go over the mechanics really quick. When pitching, you hold down a button. The longer you do it, the more charged your shot will become. When your pitcher flashes white, you fire a rocket across the plate. Release anytime before, you'll shoot off a slower pitch, but it's one you basically have full control of over the ball as it's in flight, so you can trick and bewilder your foes. Though honestly, I felt like this was completely useless against the AI, who always destroyed my trick shot attempts. Batting is just pressing one button to swing. You can also slide around the plate all you want too, which I imagine affects something. Running's also pretty simple. Player on base, press on the D-pad to make your players on the base run to the next one. Yeehaw. As for fielding, well, that's where the game gets just a little bit sloppy. When the ball gets hit up, the game will automatically send the closest AI player to the ball. The game will also give you control of that player, so if you press any direction at all, you'll immediately screw with the AI pathfinding, which can really mess you up because if the ball is cranked deep into the outfield, there is no indicator as to where your player is if they're off screen. Also, your throws are tied to the baseball diamond itself, with each point matching with the D-pad, of course. I'm also pretty sure any diagonal throws are just non-existent, so you kind of have to contend with only having the cardinal directions to throw with. Though really, once you understand your fielder bots are magnetized to the ball in flight, and you learn to keep your dirty little mitts off the D-pad till they're on the screen, fielding becomes very simple. Practically plays itself. With a few decent upgrades, aka ultra shoulders on all your tanks, you'll breeze through any pennant season pretty easily. Just load up some bases and crank a home run to quickly start outpacing your foes and eventually take the pennant. Yeah, that's pretty much all there is to say about Base Wars. Really, it's a pretty simple title, all things considered. Sadly, this was the only Cyber Stadium Series game to ever be released. A tragedy, really, since some Cyber Stadium Series hockey or football probably would have been amazing. This one's still pretty great, though. It's a solid game, even in spite of the awkward fielding. Batting, pitching, running, and fighting controls are totally fine, though, which really, that's the most fun part of the game anyway. I'd kill to get a more modern version of this title, because I can't even find something close to this one, really. Thankfully, though, the wacky whack world of arcade sports never went away, and there's still plenty of fun arcade sports games out there. This one included. Anyway, though, it's time to finish the video. As always, dearest viewers, my name is HadesManticore, and this here channel is CityStateManticore. Thanks a ton for watching if you did. I'd very much appreciate a like and a comment on this one as well. Also, feel free to subscribe, since, as always, there's more content to come. I'll see y'all in the next one. Goodbye.